Well, let me start today by letting you know that I hope you and your families remain well and safe during these uncertain days. Every single one of you is part of our strong Mohawk College community, and we care about your well-being. Well, this is usually my favorite time of the year at the college. More than 5,000 Mohawk students celebrate graduation every June, and I look forward to congratulating each and every one of them as they cross the convocation stage. This year is quite different. I hope to have the chance to address you face-to-face in the McIntyre Performing Arts Center at a future date. For now, I'm sending you this video message because we're forced to remain apart for this important occasion. It's a little strange to be giving my speech in an empty theater. Well, congratulations to you, class of 2020. Usually I would have a chance to see your faces, to tell a joke or two, to hear your reactions, and to really share this milestone moment. Jokes might be harder to come by this year, but I would still like to celebrate as best we can. This year you might have to wait a while before moving on to the next stage in your life. That might make you anxious. I bet it makes you frustrated. And I'm sure it's not how you expected this moment would be. The COVID-19 pandemic is the biggest obstacle Mohawk College has ever faced in our history. We will get through this, and how we get through this will help to define us as a college. And how you get through this will help to define you as well. That is why I'd like to talk to you today about change, challenges, and taking charge. When we are on the other side of this pandemic, the odds are very high that things will not return to exactly the way they were before. As a result, we're living in a moment of rapid, monumental change. Added to that, you are at a pivotal point of change in your own lives. You've finished your training, you're turning your focus toward a new horizon, you're looking to find a job, to establish a career path, and to make your mark on society. You want to put your foot down on the accelerator and speed into the future. But for some of you, the light at this intersection right now is yellow or even red. Now at this point, I could pull out an inspirational quote for you. There is no end to the number of famous quotes on social media about coping with change. It's not hard to find these quotes, and it's not much harder to understand what they mean. But it is hard to turn these words into action. Most of the time, we know what we should be doing when we face a big change in our lives. Be calm. Be flexible, be thoughtful, be creative, and above all, persevere. But when we are asked to step outside our comfort zone, it's not easy for most of us. So while you pause during the pandemic before starting your new journey, I have a suggestion for you. Lean into change. In my career, the changes I've seen have been staggering. Changes in communication, the internet, the rise of big data and artificial intelligence, and on and on and on. Opportunities come more frequently out of change than they do out of the status quo. Spend your time during this pandemic figuring out how to lean into change and how to benefit from it. How is the industry you are interested in affected by the pandemic? How can you help employers adapt and recover? Organize your thoughts, make a plan, and lean into this moment of change. Then when the COVID-19 light turns green again and your life picks up speed, you will be ready to navigate the road ahead. Well, leaning into change helps us handle the twists and turns in the road of life. It's how we handle the bumps and potholes that is most important. There is no doubt that we are collectively globally facing a very serious challenge right now. Canadian society has not had to deal with anything of this magnitude before, at least not in my lifetime. For many of you, this is the first life-changing challenge you will have faced. Let me assure you that on your life's journey, this is just a bump in the road, albeit a big one. These are the moments that shape our character. When life is easy, the road is smooth, and the driving is simple, it's managing the obstacles that make us better drivers. In my life, the people who have most inspired me have overcome obstacles that have made them stronger, steadier, and more motivated. These are the people who become our role models, our mentors, and our hero figures. They haven't chosen the easy path or the smoothest road. They've chosen to face challenges, and they have learned from their failures. Through their disappointments, they have found success in the many different ways that we define it. We know that Thomas Edison invented the incandescent light bulb. What we sometimes forget is that it took him 50 years to do it, and thousands of unsuccessful attempts. Addressing that fact, Edison famously said he had not failed at all. He just found thousands of ways not to build a light bulb, and only one way that worked. In his own way, my father showed me how to face challenges. He was a serial entrepreneur, and he had his own hits and misses. Some of his ventures were more successful than others, and none were without setbacks. But in the end, my dad built businesses that supported our family and inspired his 7 children. In a very different way than Edison or my father did, Nelson Mandela faced serious challenges as well. He dealt with racism, persecution, and imprisonment, but he eventually changed the social foundations of a nation, South Africa, and then became its first Black president. "Do not judge me by my success," Mandela said about facing challenges, "but rather judge me by how many times I fell down and yet got back up again." People like Mandela, Edison, and my dad taught me that a positive attitude, passion, and perseverance can lead us through most of the bumps and potholes in our lives. As we face this COVID-19 challenge, you may feel like you don't have a lot of control of your life right now. Stay at home, maintain physical distance, wash your hands. It's true that we're being ordered around a bit more these days, of course for the good of the community. However, there are still many things, the most important things, that you do have control over. You have control of your attitude, how you treat other people, how honest you are, how many people you take the time to thank. And by the way, you will never go wrong in life by taking the time to thank people. My final piece of advice to you is to take charge of your behaviors, your thoughts, your actions, and your words. Take charge of the important things in your life that you can control. And those are the things that will truly help to define you. Things that will help you grow stronger and more resilient in life. Throughout your education, others have guided your direction and supported you. Family and friends, teachers and professors, counselors and mentors. Now you have the knowledge and the skills to make a positive impact in your community. So as you prepare for the road ahead of you, lean into change. It will help you roll with the twists and the turns of life ahead. Face challenges and learn from failures. It's the best way to navigate the bumps and the potholes of life. And take charge of your own behaviors. Well, the steering wheel is in your hands. To the graduating class of 2020, congratulations and Godspeed.